We rented a Jucy Coaster camper van in Australia, and we're doing a review to tell you all about it. Who are we?
We are Chris and Steve, Eat, Walk, Learn.
We are a full-time traveling couple who sold everything back in May of 21, and we've been on the road traveling ever since. This was our first time to get a camper van. What an experience we had. Let's go through the review.
Yeah, and let's start with the website. So if you go to the Jucy website and go to the camper van section and the coaster section, you can see all of the different specifications about the Jucy coaster. One thing to identify is that the website is a little bit outdated. It talks about a Toyota. We actually had a LDV Deliver 9 van. It was a brand new build, really great. There was only a few kilometers on the camper van when we got it. Great that seats 3 in front with seat belts, although it sleeps 2, and it was extremely comfortable.
Well, you might be able to squeeze somebody on the bench in the front seat, like a child or something, to sleep at night, but the bed was a 2-person bed.
Definitely was a 2-person bed, but also it had a 9-foot clearance, 3-meter clearance, so you could easily stand up in it.
Yeah, it was nice that we could change our clothes and stuff inside and not have to bend over, which was great.
Exactly. But also, before we cut to the other parts of the van, let's just talk about the pickup process and how that was. We drove from Brisbane to Sydney, and what was the pickup like in Sydney?
Oh, it was Brisbane? A piece of cake. So, we arrived at the airport. Actually, we arrived by train to the airport. You can also fly in. Either way, they will pick you up at the airport and take you to the checkout location. That was super simple. We called them. They were there 10 minutes later, and we had a 5-minute drive to the actual pickup location. Then when we got there, we had already checked in online and put our driver's license information, our credit card information, and so on. So when we got to go pick it up, they just pulled that up, confirmed everything, and asked us a couple questions. Did we want to buy some extra insurance, which we said no. And did we want to get some extra chairs, which we said no to. And then we walked over to the van and got a walkthrough. It was really simple.
Yeah, they were very nice, very pleasant. And the walkthrough was actually great, too, to know, how everything worked inside. We actually found out a little bit later that because it was a brand new build, some things were still a little sticky. So things like taking the table apart in order to assemble the bed took us a little bit extra time to do. But, once we got the hang of it, it was actually pretty easy. And you probably won't have that experience since chances are you won't be getting a brand new one.
Right. But nonetheless, it was, I love how our cat has jumped into the picture here. But so first let's take you through a review of the cab. So we'll be right back after this cab review. Let me show you the inside of the cab of this great Jucy Coaster van. So first, there's a nice step to get on up here for short people like me. The steering wheel is very nice. Here you've got the whole setup for your cruise control and all of your audio and your music and your telephone right here. You've got nice gauges, of course, with the RPMs on the car, the gas gauge, the odometer, and your speed. Then, of course, you have an automatic car with your park, reverse, neutral, and then 2 gears for drive. Here is the whole command center. You have the driver assistance mode with all the information about the automatic tools that you use to make the driving easy, your alarms and things for the comfort, and then the condition of the vehicle. You also have, you can Bluetooth your phone, and then here's all of your music options, how you set everything up for your radio and so on. And then here is your radio, and then finally you can connect other devices for your music. Down here you have a control panel for you can use when you're driving. This button here tells you if you're going in and out of the lane, which is very helpful when you first start driving the car. Automatic brakes, put the eco on in order to save yourself some gas. And then of course you have the whole AC and the defroster and so on for making yourself comfortable in the van. You have 3 seats, 1, 2, 3, and 3 seatbelt situations. You also have nice visors in order to keep the sun out, a place to put your sunglasses, lights, and then on the door is super handy. You have lots of compartments inside the door and places to put all of your stuff with automatic windows. And that is the inside of the Jucy Coaster van. So, how did you find driving the actual vehicle?
It was, a little bit of a challenge, but I think that's just because I don't do a lot of driving in our nomad life. We're mostly taking trains and planes and boats. So it was a little bit getting used to. Also, it's got a very high clearance, and we were on some windy roads. It was a little bit windy, so you feel that a little bit because of the height of the van.
And when I was driving, definitely felt like I was driving a truck. It was definitely not a car. And because it's so wide, I had a challenge staying in the lane. I felt like I was constantly on the left or constantly on the right. And of course, driving in Australia on the other side of the road from American driving, that was an adjustment as well. But it did handle really well going around the curves, and it had good enough pickup. It certainly wasn't, a jet engine, but it was okay driving. I felt safe and comfortable driving once I got used to it.
And interestingly, we put it through its paces. So we were on some mountain roads in the beginning. We were on the coastal highway, long way. There were definitely some gravel and some dirt roads that we were on a little bit. So it was a comfortable drive, and we certainly, it was good.
The gas mileage was really great, or the gas kilometerage, as they say down under, was really great. What was our actual numbers?
Yeah, so we actually drove the van about 1,200 kilometers, and we got about 11 kilometers per liter, and that equals to about 25 miles per gallon. I thought that was really pretty good, and it's a diesel vehicle, so I thought it was a little bit better mileage maybe than a regular gas.
And it cost us about $100 US, about 125, 130 Australian dollars to fill up the tank. So we thought that was pretty reasonable. All right, so let's take what you're waiting for, and thank you for hanging out with us, is you want to actually see the inside. So we're going to go to the kitchen first. So the kitchen was at the rear of the van. We're going to cut here and do a walkthrough of the kitchen.
All right, so let's take a look at the back here so you can see the kitchen. The first thing I actually want to point out is that as I open the door here, there's a shade here, a privacy shade, so you can pull that down, and it's magnetic, so it sticks here, and it's really nice, works great. Open up the other door so you can see that it opens up to our kitchen. So this is our sink. There's a nice cover here, and there's a nice faucet with good pressure. And then this is where the water goes in. I'll show you that hose in a second. Over on this side is actually the gray water hose. This gets attached over on that side when you want to dump the water out. Let's look in here real quick here. There's pots and pans. There's a bowl and a colander and a kettle. And then below that, we just got a drawer that you can store some of your stuff in. There's just an empty drawer there. Places that you can put some things down below. This is a really nice handy shelf that you can pull out, and it's got a lock on it. And this could be either a cooking surface, or I'll show you a second, is where you can put the cook stove. We've got some cups and some glasses down below. Here's a nice drawer. We've got 2 plates, bowls, forks, knives, all kinds of cutlery. Nice thing about this knife is that it's really sharp. That's really great, since this is a brand new setup for us. We'll take a look at these switches real quick here. This is the on-off switch for the electricity. This covers the back of the van, the water pump, and this is the refrigerator on-off. You also have a number of USB ports that are right here. Take a look here real quick inside this little bucket. We've got a can of gas for the stove. I'll show you in a second. Some cleaning supplies, and this is the water in hose that you use to fill in the water tank. There's a refrigerator, nice functioning refrigerator that you can put stuff. You can see all of our food that's in there in the refrigerator. And then you say, well, what about cooking? Where's your stove? Well, it's right here. I'll just pop this out real quick. Put this on the shelf and show you that you've got a nice burner top with the gas can that's really efficient. When you're done with that, just slide it away and put that back away here. Close this up. And that's our kitchen.
So we really enjoyed the kitchen. It had everything that we needed. We had no problem cooking our meals. It was great. The refrigerator had great space to put everything in. It stayed cold. So there's a dual battery system on this particular van. So
you could keep the refrigerator is maintaining its coolness, and it had power to be able to plug in, your phones and things and stuff while not using the battery that was to start the car.
Right. The two batteries, and both recharge as you were driving. So you could use the auxiliary battery at night, and then the next day drive all day and recharge it. So you never had to worry about the batteries dying, which was really nice. So, all right, let's take you. We know that you're all waiting to see what the setup is on the inside and what the bed situation is. So we're going to cut to that, and Steve's going to take you through the dining room, living room, master bedroom suite.
All right, and this is the inside of our Jucy van. Come on in. You can see we've got a really nice living area here with a table that swivels, and this becomes the bed as well. Underneath here are all of the bedding that you need, and the pillows is all underneath there. Also, there's two of these. One of these is down there. This tabletop just lifts off, and it becomes the other section that fits right here with the cushions from here that fit across to make your bedding area. You notice we've got the lights on here. There's two different kinds of lights. There's the white light, and there's also the red light, making it extra romantic for your feature. And I also want to point out to you, this is the light switch right here, and these are your 4 USBs to plug in all your devices while you're sleeping. And then underneath me is the toilet that you can pull out and that you can use if you need it. We are not going to be using it on this particular trip. There's lots of storage also underneath here for your stuff. You've got storage area over here on the side, and behind here, this is where we put our folding chairs. Lots of area there that you can store things as well. That's the inside of our Jucy van.
So, how was the bed?
I thought the bed was actually very comfortable. Once we got in it and kind of covered up at night, all the things that are included with it, the linens, the covers, the pillows, it really made it easy and made it really very comfortable.
Yeah, and frankly, we didn't use the inside to sit inside because all of our weather was really great and we had some camper chairs. So when we got to our campsites, we just went out, we sat outside and enjoyed the fresh air and the outdoors. But it certainly would be a comfortable place to sit and enjoy a meal if the weather were bad or you needed to just get out of the sun or whatever. So super comfortable, very movable, lots of space. We could, like we said earlier, you could stand up inside. So really, no complaints and a lot of recommendations.
Yeah, I thought it was really great, and I think I would get the same van again.
Yeah. So if you click our affiliate link below, we were not paid to do this video, but if you click our link, we get a little commission for your reservation. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it gives us a little kickback, which is nice because we put a lot of effort into these videos. Thank you very much. If you like us, subscribe. And by the way, we actually took a trip in the van, and we have an entire video right here about that 4-day trip from Brisbane to Sydney. You gotta watch it, because to watch us camp and our old decrepit 60-year-old bodies, it was a joy, and we had a really good time. So make sure you watch that video. Talk to you soon.